The basketball world is still buzzing, and tensions have reached a boiling point. A new development has unfolded, one that might just shake up the dynamics of not only women's college basketball but also the budding professional careers of two of the sport's most polarizing stars. Caitlin Clark has spoken. And in doing so, she's found herself, surprisingly, on the same page as Angel Reese. In a move that caught many fans off guard, Caitlin Clark has come forward to show support for Angel Reese's sentiment following powerful remarks made by South Carolina Gamecocks coach Dawn Staley. What makes this even more shocking is the ongoing narrative that has often painted Clark and Reese as rivals, especially after the viral moment that defined the 2023 NCAA championship game. But this time, it seems, they're united. The center of this media storm begins with Dawn Staley. Known for her no-nonsense leadership and unapologetic passion for her players and the game itself, Coach Staley recently made headlines when she addressed a perceived double standard in how women athletes, particularly black women, are talked about and portrayed. During a press conference that was supposed to be about celebrating South Carolina's undefeated season and their championship victory, Staley chose to use her platform to speak on something deeper. Something cultural. Something emotional. Something that needed to be said. She boldly declared that her players, primarily black women, are constantly misjudged. That the way they are described, criticized, or even praised often comes with an undercurrent of bias. They're not thugs, she emphasized. They're not bullies. They're not problematic. They are basketball players who deserve the same love, respect, and admiration that any other athlete gets. That statement lit a fire. While many in the basketball community applauded her bravery, others felt she was generalizing or deflecting from what was supposed to be a sports conversation. Still, her words resonated with one person who's been no stranger to public scrutiny and media narratives, Angel Reese. Reese, often at the heart of controversy not because of her game but because of her outspoken attitude and unfiltered confidence, immediately took to social media to show her appreciation for Coach Staley's words. She reposted clips of the press conference, captioning them with hearts and praise hands. She knew what Staley was saying. She had lived it. And in that moment, Reese was once again ready to stand tall, unapologetic in her blackness, her womanhood, and her fire on the court. But what happened next is what truly shocked everyone. Caitlin Clark, long seen as the darling of women's college basketball, a white guard from Iowa with a lethal shooting arm and calm demeanor, offered her own reflection on the matter. In a sit-down interview just days after the championship weekend, she addressed the viral moment. When asked directly about Staley's comments and Reese's reaction to them, Clark didn't flinch. She leaned in. "I think what Coach Staley said was real," Clark said, her voice steady but thoughtful. "There are so many amazing athletes in this game, and we all come from different places. But the one thing we all share is the love for basketball. I've seen firsthand how hard Angel works, how passionate she is, and how much criticism she gets that has nothing to do with her game. That's not fair. And I agree with her, enough is enough." The interviewer was stunned, and so were fans. Clark had just done something rare in sports. She publicly stood with her so-called rival, not as an adversary, but as an ally. And not just that, she validated a coach whose comments had risked polarizing the community. She didn't dance around the issue. She didn't offer a vague endorsement of unity. She made it clear, Angel Reese is not the problem. The way we talk about women in sports, especially black women, is. This moment signaled a dramatic shift in the story arc of these two athletes. It wasn't about who taunted who anymore. It wasn't about viral gestures or online trolls. It was about truth. About empathy. About respect. Clark's fans, many of whom had previously cheered her for keeping her cool in contrast to Reese's expressive attitude, were now faced with a different narrative. Caitlin Clark had always been a competitor, yes, but she had never been silent. She wasn't afraid to say the right thing, even if it meant going against the current of her own fanbase's biases. And in this moment, her respect for Angel Reese was impossible to miss. The timing of her comments couldn't have been more poetic. Both Clark and Reese are preparing to enter the WNBA, where they'll be teammates, opponents, or possibly both, depending on how trades and drafts unfold. The world is already anticipating what kind of rivalry or alliance they'll bring to the professional stage. But now, with Clark's unexpected words, the idea of Caitlyn versus Angel seems less like a feud and more like a media invention that's finally run out of steam. Social media exploded with reactions. On one end, fans of Clark praised her maturity and sportsmanship. On the other, fans of Reese applauded the validation and support their favorite player had long deserved. But in the middle was something even more powerful: unity. A rare moment where two athletes who had become symbols of division were now showing the world what solidarity looks like. What made Clark's comments even more impactful was the context in which she said them. She wasn't prompted to say something safe or diplomatic.